Hey, I'm Nick, and I coach people to improve their productivity and discipline in order to reach their dream lifestyles. And today I want to talk about how important it is to admit to yourself that change needs to happen. So, in life, in a general sense, it's easy to slack and it's easy to do things the same way. If you are comfortable with whatever you're doing day to day and whatever your habits are, you're going to be more likely to keep doing them. If you're used to waking up when you want to, and sitting down on the couch watching TV till the afternoon, having lunch, and going through all that without change, and when change is introduced or when you want change, it's going to be hard for your body to adapt to it. In a mental sense, you are constantly training your brain. You are constantly training it to anticipate and get used to a certain habit or a certain thing. When you work out, you get your body used to lifting heavier weights, and so it builds systems in order to lift heavier weights, like more muscle mass or more muscle strength. When you get your body used to slacking off on the couch, waking up later than you probably need to, and all those sort of things, you build barriers in your brain that stop you from doing anything adjacent to that, and you get yourself stuck in a bubble of your own comfort zone. So, the biggest fact that I want to start today off with is that in order for change to happen, in order for you to have something different in your life, to have a different lifestyle or some kind of thing that you want to buy or do, then there has to be changes to whatever you're doing. You're not able to continue to slack off on the couch and do all those lazy habits if what you want is different to that. That calls for discipline, and you need to build discipline in order to change those habits and change those ways of doing things because they are now old, and you need to find that discipline to build up the new habits and new ways of doing things. Like I said, with training your brain to anticipate laziness and all those other things, the barriers that are built up in your brain need to be knocked down first before you're able to do things differently and have that different lifestyle. Now, there's plenty of things that can increase your productivity and discipline, like building up certain habits and other stuff that I've talked a lot on this channel about. But what is more important than adding new habits and new ways of doing things is cutting out the old and not supporting those old barriers that you still have up in your mind that are holding you back. Those bad systems and you ignoring those bad systems are going to be what's going to hold you back the most, not doing something new and doing something exciting or a different habit. That can all come later. You need to have a foundation first, and you need to fix your habits now. You can't out train a bad diet the same way you can't out muscle your brain power to overcome and be productive when it's just come from being lazy and unproductive. So, for the first actionable step that you can take is to admit to yourself that there needs to be change and not to just ignore your old habits and old way of doing things and start adding in the extra stuff to make it more productive. You need to admit that whatever you're doing needs to be changed. It needs to add in some limits so that you're not watching TV for hours. Maybe you only let yourself watch it for a couple minutes. You're not sleeping in till the evening, and rather you give yourself 10 minutes to wake up each morning. Small steps like that, where you actually address the problem, means that you'll actually grow and develop better than if you were to just ignore that entirely and trick yourself into thinking you're doing the right thing when really you've got these chains and all this stuff holding you back in the first place. Now, that in and of itself is not an easy thing to do. It's very much a hard pill to swallow to admit that what you're doing needs to change and that you haven't been doing the best that you could be. But once you swallow that pill and you keep moving forward, even if you fall back on some things, even if you fail at some things, constant improvement is what matters. But yeah, that's all for today. If you're still interested in learning more about productivity tips or tricks, I've now started one-on-one coaching, which you can book a call for using the first link in the description below. But until then, I'll see you later.